Welcome into another Wednesday episode of Sports Idiot Nation. We had to invite Brent back. He's got to tell us the origin stories of the Nashville Wampas and beer league hockey in Nashville, and the only man to get with John Wick and live to tell about it.
Sports, comedy, pop culture, and everything in between. By idiots, for idiots.
This is Sports Idiot Nation.
Sports, comedy, pop culture, and everything in between. Welcome back, sinners. This is Season 2 of Sports Idiot Nation.
Welcome in. You landed on a Wednesday with us at Sports Idiot Nation. We had to welcome back Brent Thrax. We're going to find out how we got that name, and we're going to begin with the hat, brother. So welcome back. You are a two-timer on Sports Idiot Nation already. You may be the fastest in history to be a two-timer. I do have to check the stats. We'll go back and check. But welcome back. Tell us about the hat, man.
Wampa's official merchandise available at wampashockey.com.
There it is. Love it. Gotta have it.
Made by Stelly Hockey out of Minnesota. It is legit. And that's half the reason I got into hockey, was just so I could do my own merch. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, dude.
Jonathan, that's what's up. And you have to send you some out to California too. Just shoot me your address after the episode.
Yeah, I'll get you my address.
Adam's
take it.
All over you.
Yeah, Adam's actually in Indiana. He's just born and raised in California.
In a couple months, I will be going to San Jose, and I'm down to wear that in San Jose for sure. I'm down. I'll support. Yeah.
Where are you at in Indiana?
So I'm in the upper right-hand corner, Fort Wayne.
Okay, yeah, I've been to Fort Wayne.
Fort Wayne Comets. The Comets is their team. Yeah.
You ever go see them?
Oh yeah, it's about 6 minutes from my house. A 20-minute walk. I mean, seriously, it's that close. Yeah. We go to a fight and a hockey game breaks out over there.
There you go. That's always the first question I get about beer league. You guys fight? You fight?
So let's get into it. Do you guys?
You fight? Huh?
Let's get into it.
No fighting.
No.
No. You get a year suspension.
Oh, really? Okay.
And the Wampas are so classy. We've had a player get banned from all rinks for a year. Like you couldn't even step inside.
Oh, what's your brother's name?
No, it's not. No relation. He's about as big an idiot as I am. But
yeah,
he's the only player I know of to get a penalty before the game started too.
Oh man,
I'll leave his name.
That's awesome.
That's the only way to talk. So it's one of those things. Great guy off the ice, funny, good dude, but like he just gets on the ice and just loses his shit. I don't know what it is. It's just like something takes over. But
it's like over the top, when Stallone flips his hat around backwards.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Hey, now it looks like Jonathan.
There you go. But yeah, I mean, tell us about the Wampas. I mean, I'm familiar with them. I've kind of shared some information to Adam as well. But I mean, how did this come about? I mean, I know you're pretty much the orchestrator and involved in all things Wampas. So tell us a little history of the Wampas.
Yeah, I have the CEO, the GM, the governor, the coach.
Hello, governor.
Governor, and I'm also a pretty shitty left winger and defense. I play defense when I have to. But yeah, Wampas. So I guess we start off first off like, what the hell is a Wampa? Wampas. I get that a lot too. And it's basically the Star Wars universe version of Bigfoot or the Yeti. Empire Strikes Back. Surely to God, everybody's seen that. It's the creature that attacks Luke at the beginning on the ice planet Hoth, and is about to eat him, and then Luke discovers the Force and chops his arm off. And that's all you get with the Wampa. But they got a new movie coming out, Mando and Grogu, right, in the summer.
Yep.
And
Grogu.
You can see in the trailer they're on Hoth. So
this is the way.
God, there's that Wampa scene You know, there's got to be because they love all that Easter egg, member berry stuff. So I'm hoping to God it's Wampa's in there, just some throwaway scene, and I could sell a hell of a lot more merch because Star Wars has really fallen off the last few years. I used to do pretty good like online sales and stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
now it's just like just another content factory brand out there. Kids these days they're more into uh, Harry Potter, Pokemon, whatever crap. I don't know. I'm old, but Star Wars was everything, to me growing up in the 70s and 80s. And uh,
Absolutely.
when I started playing hockey, I'm like, what's a better moniker for a, hockey team than a mindless ice creature? So I went with Wampas. But yeah, we're just a local, we call it beer league. I guess technically it's the Adult Recreation Hockey League. It's run by the Predators. They do a nice job with it, but all the facilities and the leagues are managed by the Predators, and they've got two facilities. Well, actually three if you count Clarksville, which is actually a super nice facility, brand new. But there's Clarksville, there's Bellevue, and then there's Antioch. Antioch's the old Hickory Hollow Mall, and Bellevue's the old Bellevue Mall. And then Clarksville's right in that new stadium, Austin P built right downtown. Like I said, everything there is super nice. I was shocked how nice it was. Uh, they really put some money into it. It's a super nice facility, both the main arena and the hockey rink right next door. Really cool. So, if you're into hockey, definitely check it out up there.
Yeah, the Ford Ice Center is nice. I've been there for a handful of things. Came and watched you guys one night. My son's friends from school have had birthday parties there. I've been there for a plethora of things. I want to try to go to Antioch sometime, watch MTSU play because it is my alma mater and they're pretty good. So I need to
Yeah,
make that happen at some point. But yeah,
I play with some of TSU guys. Yeah.
nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
both facilities are great. I mean, I've played all over the country, Dubai, and I've seen a lot of hockey rinks, and they've really done a nice job with the Ford Ice Centers. And the one in Bellevue's got the draft picks bar upstairs, and
Yeah.
good bar food, and drinky drinks and all that good. And like you don't have to get in the cold of the rink. You can stay up there. It's kind of like a skybox or something.
Yeah,
So we're
it's
really
cool.
fortunate in Nashville to have such nice facilities because a lot of towns, it's just older, rundown stuff. They don't put any money into it. So, uh, that's a really cool thing about Nashville, growing so much. We may hit the traffic and that kind of stuff, but the, uh, stuff that's come here, is great because back in the day, all you had was, Centennial, uh, downtown and then,
Sportsplex. Yeah.
yeah, Sportsplex, right there across from Centennial Park, all that. And then, there was, it was called Southern Ice down in Cool Springs. It was right by the mall down there. Um, it was open for, I don't know, 10, 15 years, something like that. It shut down, God, probably a decade ago now. And that's where the Wampas actually started, was at that rink. Uh,
Yeah, that was what I was curious about. How long have you all been in existence now?
yeah, 2013. So what's the math on that? Yeah, I
13.
guess we're like right at our 13th anniversary.
Wow.
Which so that honestly makes us one of the older beer league teams in town. They usually don't have that much longevity. We actually have two teams. We have one, the one I play on in Bellevue, and then we have the another one in Antioch. So it's we're some of the original six.
And you have a
Yeah,
We're the
like the
classic
NHL,
classic brand
the
of beer league.
NHL. Yeah.
you
Yeah,
have a rookie team too, right? Or is that the one in Antioch?
Antioch's the rookie team, and
Yeah.
then the one I play on is Upper D. There's like six divisions. For whatever reason, it doesn't start with A. It starts with B, and then there's Upper C, Upper D, Lower D, and then rookie. I think that's how it shakes out. But the Wampas have been such ass. Is it on yeah, there it is. We're being threatened with relegation to lower D, so I don't know where we'll be next season. Uh, Somebody's GM game has not been too solid the last year or so. So it's, it's my whole plan. We're gonna get better beer leaguers, gonna get a few younger guys in there, youth movement. So we'll see. But it's serious competitive league, and honestly, that's one of the reasons I got into the local hockey scene was I moved back here from New York City. We'll get more into that later. But I, it's just kind of like a bucket list thing. I was born in Kentucky, but all my formative years was spent up in Detroit, and I was the art guy, nerd, uh, into art and that kind of stuff, comic books, whatever. Sports were like, eh. And then my dad took us to a hockey game in '85, and I was just hooked. I was just like, oh my God, what is this? Because I just moved there from Kentucky, and I'd only seen hockey on TV like a couple times. This was, gotta think like before cable TV, much less the internet and all that.
Oh
And
yeah.
it was a North thing if you even knew it existed. And that I just took the game, and like I didn't know anything about anything, and I was just I can still remember it. I mean, I just thought the energy just soaked it in. It was just incredible. The Red Wings got the it was Red Wings Bruins. I think they lost 8-2, and I didn't care. Like I was just like, this is so cool. And of course, you got the fighting and gameplay, but I think this is the speed. People forget how fast hockey moves. Not beer league, mind you, but like the real stuff. Like they get up and go versus like your other sports. You don't think about how football. Uh, they only play for a few seconds, and then you got to wait TV timeouts, whatever. Was hockey just gets after it, uh, and I just loved it, and I love the game, and I love the branding. Uh, as an art guy, I was just like, those uniforms look incredible. They look like superheroes. They all got the logo on the chest, or gladiators, or whatever
Yeah.
analogy you want to make. But uh, they just look like warriors, and I just loved it. I was growing up in Detroit. It snows from November to April, and I would sit in my house on a snow day or whatever and just draw logos. Come on, rebranding teams and stuff. Like that was my thing, and here it is, 40 years later, and I'm still doing it. So that's kind of like the two pillars of why I love hockey so much: the uniforms and the game itself.
Yeah, I know what you
That's
mean.
dope.
Lived here my whole life, never lived anywhere else in Nashville. When we first got the Preds, I didn't know much about hockey. I was excited because, hey, professional sports team. I've said it before on this show. I never thought, I'd see professional sports in Nashville growing up. I always thought, we're too small of a city. Um, yeah, but the first, Preds game I went to, I was lucky enough to have seats on the seats on the glass.
Oh wow.
And it was, the place I worked at, the owner got some tickets or something, was like, hey, I can't go. You want to go? And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And man, it was just like, whew, this is something else, man. People getting smashed in the glass right in front of you. You're seeing fights. You're seeing, like you said, they're just moving a mile a minute. And I was just hooked, and it took me a long time to really start to grasp the knowledge of the game. I mean, I played soccer all my life, so there's a lot of similarities, but it's still a unique sport that takes a little time to catch on. But at the bottom of things, it's very simple. It's like once you kind of understand what's going on, it's hard to turn away from. So, um, it's just one of those sports that I think the athletes are so different from the rest of professional athletes. They
Dude.
seem to be all down to earth. I managed a wine and spirit store for many years, and we had a lot of Preds come in, and they were always so friendly, so cool, so down to earth, like just normal dudes. Anytime the Titans guys would come in, they were cool, but you could tell that they were just different level of cockiness and professionalism.
Divas.
Divas. So
There's egos there.
oh, I'm
you
sure.
know,
I'm
and,
sure.
and yeah, hockey guys for the most part, they don't have big egos, and NFL's infinity times bigger than NHL. I get it. If I was making the money they were, whatever, I would want to chitty chat with every Jonathan in the damn liquor store. I'm just trying to get my Hennessy shit. But no, yeah, hockey players are great, and that's the other thing I just love about playing beer league is the camaraderie. The I don't know how many hundreds of guys have played for the Wampas over 15 years, and by guys I mean guys and girls. And it's all walks of life, you know, kids right out of college, doctors, lawyers, polite society, uh, low lives that get thrown out before the game starts. So, you name it, Um,
Yeah.
uh, you lose that as you get older. As a kid, growing up, that was the best part of sports too, was just hanging with the boys. Like you had that camaraderie and friendship. And as you start your career and you know, life starts getting in the way, you sort of lose, that dynamic of just being around like-minded people and uh, just that just the variety. It's just the the locker room banter. I mean, yeah, I can't repeat what goes on in hockey locker rooms. It's like the foulest shit imaginable. Uh, but it's just great. Like I said, you tend to lose that as you get older. So that was great to having and keep in my life is just the people I've met and friendships I've made. And, things that's allowed me to do. Again, I never thought, my beer league hockey team would someday be playing in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, in an international tournament representing the United States. I would be like, they have ice in Dubai. Like, where's that again? Like, it's just like it makes no sense. I was just like,
You,
I
you
try to live my life like that. It's just like no rules, not reckless abandon. I'm a pretty conservative guy, but just try to live it to the fullest and like try to get out of that daily, grind, rat race type stuff. It tends to
I
eat at you.
you rode a camel. You rode a camel in Dubai. I saw a video of
That's
that. So
crazy, man. Watch out, they spit.
They smell, yeah, but yeah, it's something like they could carry, 250 kilograms or whatever. Me and my girlfriend got on there, and you would have thought that thing was dying. Uh, Videos on the Wampas Instagram at Wampas Hockey. You can see my fat ass getting on a camel. But yeah, it's just stuff like that. Just the adventures, and like I said, that's just kind of how I've tried to live my life. Just open for whatever. Uh, you know, where the day life takes you, that kind of thing. Where it's just trying to stick to you know whatever life plan you think you have, and God laughs at you. It's just like that's not how it works.
speaking of, you mentioned your Brent Thrax. I
Yeah,
know
so
I know a little bit of your background
you
from
know the origin story.
hanging with you in the after the game and having beers with you and the crew in the locker room, which was very cool. I still appreciate that. But tell Adam a little bit about your background in music, because Adam is a music guy himself. He's a big fan of music. Him and his cousin have a podcast where they discuss you know how it's made, like songs, like where it came from, origins, all that kind of stuff. So let's hear about your origin on the
Oh,
music
nice.
side. Let's hear about where the
Adam's a
name.
multi-sport thread over here.
Yeah, he's just.
Uh,
Exactly.
yeah, again, just like hockey and Star Wars, but the other like huge love of my life was music and growing up and being a teenager in the late 80s, early 90s. There was just so much great music, coming out. Uh, with really, great production quality and the videos and uh, big tours and everything. It was just it was music's kind of in the background now. Unfortunately, it's just kind of a commodity. But back then it really set the pace culturally. And uh, growing up in Detroit, I love uh, heavy metal and hip hop and uh, quote unquote alternative music or whatever, punk rock. You I was kind of a skateboarder type kid, and I loved all those type bands, Black Sabbath and Black Sabbath, Black Flag, and I love Black Sabbath too. But you get me. Circle Jerks, whatever, like all that type stuff. And great songs, Ramones, that kind of punk rock stuff. But like at the end of the day, those are pretty short songs, not a ton of musicianship and stuff. And then like through my skateboard friends, I found thrash metal, which was kind of the combination of heavy metal, which I actually didn't like that much at the time. I thought it was cheesy, like I'm not wearing leather pants and hairspray. You know what I mean? Like I was just like, no. And because punk rockers looked like me, but the thrash, like they had that crunch, speed and the kind of gang vocals and stuff, and I was just like, oh, this is incredible. These guys can jam, and that they're not cheesy like Whitesnake or 7-minute songs like Iron Maiden or whatever. So it's just like I really got into that, and my favorite was Anthrax, and they other big bands were Megadeth and Metallica, Slayer. Those are the big four of thrash metal. There was 87,000 other bands, but like I just really loved that stuff, and it was also kind of the epicenter of like real hip hop after Run DMC and Fat Boys and all that kind of stuff got started, and it really kicked into gear with Public Enemy and uh, NWA and all that. It's like what is this? It's just like these guys are raw, they're street. Like I
Yeah,
thought that was just as
change the
heavy
game,
as
100%.
yeah. I thought too short. I can go Ice-T on and on. Like those, like just the thing is, you remember the '80s was kind of conservative, and these guys were dropping N bombs and B words, and it's like, whoa, this is awesome. So I was just like, I loved all that, and I just sort of kept that going, and I got out of college in '96, moved here to Nashville, worked my little corporate job, doing graphics and website stuff and what have you, and then I didn't love that. And my aunt, of all people, sent me this thing, Clemson University offering Star Wars degree. I was like, what is that? And it was a whole graduate program, excuse me, in 3D animation. So long story short, I got accepted. I had a full ride grad school to Clemson University over in South Carolina. So I went down there and just absolutely hated it. Not Clemson. Clemson was great. Cool school. The chicks were gorgeous. Like and all that was amazing, but the curriculum was dog shit. Like it was the first year of the program. They didn't know what they were doing, and like
Oh
I
man.
like I don't want to be here. So basically, I was do anything to like besides classwork, and I reached out to Anthrax, which was kind of the low point in their career. Those there used to be a bunch of heavy metal magazines, and they put the uh, emails of rock stars in the back of the magazine, which is crazy to think now. Like, I'm not giving you my
Yeah.
email, but like that was fine back then, pre-Twitter handles and all that kind of stuff. And so I emailed Charlie Benante, the drummer of Anthrax and now Pantera. I'm like, hey, if I do you guys a website, can I get backstage? Because they were playing like the next town over. And he wrote me back one line, let's see some shit. I was like, oh my God,
You're
he
like,
emailed me
yeah, yeah,
back.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I did them a website and they loved it. And I got them their domain name. How, I don't know, but I talked some dude out of it. It was a Monty Python site, Castle Anthrax. I don't know if you know your Monty Python and the Holy Grail, but
Oh
anyways, I
yeah.
talked a dude out of it, bought it off
Oh
of. So I had anthrax.com and like uh, really helped their career because they were dead in the water. They didn't have shit, online presence and stuff. And this was '99. So, it's kind of pre-streaming, but like, internet was really getting rolling. And anyways, I went to that show and we hit it off and I ended up getting thrown out of Clemson.
Naturally.
Yeah, my rejection letter said, "Dear Brad." That's all you have to know about that. And I went on tour with them that summer. It was Megadeth, Anthrax opening for Motley Crue, and Anthrax ended up getting thrown off that tour, probably because of me. And we, anyways, you know, kept going, and I ended up doing like all the work on their next album, all the graphics and website stuff, and they took me on tour in Europe, which was incredible. That was like 2003, I think, and got to go all across Europe with Anthrax. You know, drank like a fish, act like an idiot, and like it was unbelievable. And came back from that, and they weren't super successful at the time. They're a lot bigger now. Kind of the whole retro revival, nostalgia thing. They do a lot better now than they did then. But anyway, they got the wheels rolling again, and like I said, I stayed with them kind of on the side, and then they decided to reenact with their classic lineup because they had been through different players and singers and stuff, and they would- they they went back to Joey Valdez as their singer when they were platinum, MTV, Heavy Ball, and all that era of music. And their manager at the time was the only white guy they knew. So it's like, you gotta come work for us. So I'm like, I don't know, dude. I got a corporate cushy job. Like, I don't know. He's like, oh, you gotta, we're on MySpace. You gotta do MySpace pages for us. And I'm like, what the hell is a MySpace? Because I was like 30 something at the time. And I just had a kid, and like, I was so out of the loop, like what the kids were doing. And
MySpace was big though.
oh, it was huge. And anyways, these two guys, okay, ended up being business partners with them, and we set up the first, probably not the first, but one of the first uh, ad agencies that was like that was just completely dedicated to social media. And one of the
Wow.
guys had been with Puffy, and then one had been with J Lo. Yes, I heard stories. Uh, they knew
Wow.
everybody, everybody in New York, everybody in LA. And again, I was one of the few people, graphics, web designers they knew. So they eventually talked me into it, being a partner in the company with them. So I moved up to New York City, Brooklyn, Williamsburg, right across the bridge there from Manhattan. And we had a good couple of years, well, that stuff getting started. It all seems, like ancient history now. This is like pre-mobile phone, but kind of started with Friendster and Zynga, all that kind of stuff, bloggers, and then went into MySpace, which was huge for a hot minute, and then Facebook and Twitter and all that came a little later and took things over. But the labels didn't know what to do with social media either, and the artists sure as shit aren't going to do it themselves or pay somebody. So uh, we would pay them to run their profiles, and how we made money was selling space on their profiles.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, it was a good little hustle for a minute, and that's how I got all those hip hop groups in New York City. The biggest one was G Unit. So here's my, pasty white ass hanging out with, all these, just street rappers or whatever. I never hung out with 50, but like that whole crew. And, again, I was so far like, the game, like what was cool or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Hi
there was,
guys.
You're hanging,
yeah,
kicking in
well
with like
said.
Lloyd Banks and Tony
Yeah.
Yayo,
Yeah,
Hello,
Lloyd
homies.
Banks, Hood Kid,
DJ
all those
Hookhead, yeah.
dudes. Their
Dude,
main guy
that's crazy.
is named Broadway. So we had B Way and B Threats. We were bros. They used to take me to hip hop clubs. I'd be the only white guy in there, you know. And like I said, I loved it. Those are great dudes. And again, it's all about the spice of life. Like, putting yourself out there and experiencing it versus just like, I'm gonna stay here in the suburbs and go to Chili's. Like, no, don't do that shit. Like, get out there and you know, go to some.
Chili's Chili's gets busy on
Yeah,
Wednesdays.
Not
you
You
gotta
gotta
knocking
have
Chili's.
reservations. Yeah, yeah.
you gotta get reservations on Wednesdays.
They get busy.
Hip hop clubs on the Lower East Side of Manhattan. That's what's up. So I love those dudes or whatever. But anyways, like all that ended up going tits up. The labels took it over. Started signing artists to 360 deals. Your streaming, what's your merch, your tour revenue. So basically, there's money in it. So we tried to pivot and activate brands off of Madison Avenue instead of bands. And that kind of worked for a minute, but ultimately we ended up selling it to some outfit out of San Francisco. So I got a nice little windfall of money at the time, offset my divorce, but it was fun while it lasted.
Dang,
But
man.
again, I always call it like my sabbatical. Like I learned so much, running a business, doing that, meeting people. Like it was just amazing. I love New York City. I couldn't afford it, but it was incredible at that time.
Yeah, New York City is crazy. I've probably been in New York more than any other area of the country. My, first time I went to New York, just the prices of things, I was just like, holy shit. I was like, just the hot dogs at the airport and stuff. I was like, what is going on?
Well, yeah, the cost
$11.
of living and then the taxes. I don't want to start on some conservative Ronald Reagan spiel, but like it was. I did my domicile, my house was still in Nashville. I just stayed up there with boss's house, coworkers, apartments, hotels, whatever. But because the business was out of New York City, you got New York City and New York State income tax. And I want to say it was like a 10 or 12% hit off of what I was making up there. And it was just brutal. And I just, you know, I don't see how people do it. I mean, you'd have to make just buku bucks, which I did fine, but like nothing like that. And I think that's why Tennessee is so advantageous to athletes and musicians and whatnot is, you know, they're touring all over, but they don't get hit with some nasty tax bill like you would in LA or New York.
Oh yeah, man. That's why. Then yeah, no state income tax definitely is attractive. I mean, Fred Durst is here now. He lost his house in the fire and lost a lot of assets. He moved down to
No
Franklin.
shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Fred Durst is here. He's in Franklin now.
Huh,
Yeah,
wow,
it's pretty wild.
he's
And
like my role model. Yeah,
dude,
that's
I mean,
crazy.
that Metallica show at Nissan, he had the crowd eating out of the palm of his hand. Man, I was really impressed
It's
with
so
him.
funny. I hated them back then. I love them now.
I
I
Isn't that
want to
wild how
break.
that works?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I loved
I want
him.
to break shit. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
I
back
loved
then.
him
I thought
back
I thought they
then.
were cheesy as hell. I like Deftones, but those other bands I thought were like Hot Topic and just
Yeah.
stupid.
Wes Borland
Uh,
was good, but you're like, it was a little
And
cheesy.
and he
But
oh
Wes
and
yeah,
was a real good guitar player, though, for
and
sure.
Wes
oh
went
god,
to
he's way too good for that band.
Yeah,
yeah
he was. Yeah.
Wes went to high school at Hillsboro, which is like 10 minutes from my house. So it's kind of
Oh
funny.
really?
Yeah, which is
He
wild.
was from Florida or something. Yeah. Wow.
Durst is from Jacksonville, but
Okay, that's what I'm thinking.
but
Okay.
Wes Moreland went to high school at Hillsboro. So
Yeah, he creates a soundscape. I really think he's a talented uh, musician. And Fred's great energy and like that. Those are
Yeah,
solid.
performer. Yeah, he knows what they're doing. Yeah.
I guess Gen Z, Gen Alpha, whoever's the cool kids now, like they're loving it. And why wouldn't they? It's so different from, all that
Chocolate
stuff that's
starfish. What's not to love? Come on,
all,
man.
all the
Hot
innuendos.
dog flavored water. Hot dog flavored water.
But no, that's the thing I didn't like about, like my daughter's generation of music. I just thought it was wimpy. And like parents, you're supposed to hate your kids' music because it's too loud and aggressive. And, you know, it's Manson, it's Kiss, it's Ozzy. They're really pushing the social norms, and now it's just like this is so soft or mumble rap or
yeah,
AI sounding shit,
Jim,
man. I'm
Jim,
like,
Jim, Jim, my lifestyle. Yeah, that
yeah.
mumble, dude. Like,
yeah.
get out of here.
Or it's
I hated all those hipster bands,
I was gonna
the
say it's
clap
on the other
people.
spectrum too, because it's like you get bands like Maroon 5 and stuff, and you're just like, oh man,
I did their
like,
MySpace.
did you? That's funny.
I had Britney's, I had Kanye's, I had Maroon 5, you name it. If they were, big or a name, at least a name at the time, like I had their MySpace. I could have started like the biggest rap beef of all time on MySpace.
By just making up. Yeah, like, that's crazy,
Just
dude.
shit talk posts or whatever. But like,
I was probably
yeah,
interacting with you not knowing it. Because, like, you know what I mean? Like, if I interacted with those bands on MySpace, if it's you behind there, we probably interacted. That's
okay,
wild.
yeah.
That's so
But
funny.
it's still like that. And
So
It
you
might have it might have a burner account, but like whatever their public shit is, that's generally them.
Yeah.
I know
Most they probably do is bitch when they don't like something or they get a bad comment.
Yeah.
And it is crazy that, we knew social media was going to take over because it broke all the boundaries between the audience and the artist. But it is like, how do you monetize that was the question. Some people figured it out. We didn't.
Yeah.
You know,
so
it is what I
you
do.
I know
That's
that
crazy.
you being involved in that. I know you've run across a lot of folks. I know we had some stories about some parties you were invited to. Tell us about some of the folks that you've met or had run-ins with, just from living the rock star graphic design nerd lifestyle that you lived.
Uh, yeah, I mean, I've done graphics, for everybody from Anthrax and Motley, all the metal stuff to the rap stuff. Hell, I used to do Broadway people. Uh, Dave Coulier, me and him used to email back and forth. I had so many people.
Dave Coulier.
It's crazy now because like that was almost 20 years ago.
Cut it out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
his
dude.
email. That was his email. It was like cut it out at AOL.com or some shit. I shit you not.
That's
Uh,
hilarious, dude.
Super nice guy. Um, but that's the cool thing about being, brands with Anthrax is they, everybody, love those guys. You talk about like egos on athletes and stuff. Um, Anthrax, they're very New Yorkers. They don't like a lot of small talk, and they're not like the sweetest guys ever, but like really really cool dudes. Just you know from the bro hang perspective, uh, they're good to their people, their roadies, people that work for them, and you got to think like people that tour with bands, they don't just stick with one band typically. They'll go out with Anthrax, and then the next tour will be a country music artist or basically who's ever paying, and everybody knows everybody. So and they have a great rep in the business. So it's allowed me to like meet a lot of people through them. I got to go backstage at Britney uh, when she was the hotness, like before all the drugs and she burned her brain. Uh, I didn't get to meet her, but I was about 4 or 5 feet from her, and like she was hot. You know, hell, she was probably what like 22 or something at the time, whatever. This like that when she was big. But I didn't go all backstage. I got to go in the little dressing room, like under the stage. Um,
It's wild.
so and then that was all through a guy named Woody. That was he worked for Anthrax back in the day, and he was with Britney then. So just working connections, that way. And then I know the one Jonathan loves is I got to meet Mr. John Wick himself, Keanu Reeves, in Chicago one time. It was the Anthrax Motorhead tour. Yes, I got to meet Lemmy, and yes, he is God. Uh, Rest in peace, rock in peace. He was incredible. So yeah, Kanye, Keanu. Uh, he was big buddies with Scotty and the guitar player, rhythm guitar player at Anthrax, and he was. I don't know what movie it was, but it was the one with like him and Sandra Bullock, like the Lake House, maybe something like that.
Yeah,
Pick
yeah,
it up, Jonathan. I don't. So,
yeah.
anyways,
It's
they were
called,
they were
it's
up in
called the Lake
Chicago
House.
filming that. It was him and Sandra Bullock, right? So, anyway, he came on the show. It was at the House of Blues right there on the river, downtown Chicago, and we were staying at the hotel and the venues right next door in the parking lot almost. And we were all at the bar drinking because of course we were. And he just walks in with his lady friend. And it's just they didn't give me a heads up. Like I had no idea. And he just kind of do a double take. Like, is that Neo? You know, is that Ted? Was he Ted or Bill? I think he was Ted. Uh,
Instead, yeah.
yeah. So just like I'm getting old, brain cells have been. So like yeah. Anyways, uh, he came out and I was walking around doing whatever, and they kind of had like the hotel security, not wasn't like paparazzi or nothing, but just kind of keeping like people back or whatever. Anyways, they let in, and so there was it's so weird. Like you see a celebrity or whatever, and you don't want to like bob them, get up all in their face and stuff. But I've been drinking, and so I just went up to him, and he was sort of facing the other direction, and he turns around, and I'm like, hi, I'm Brent. I run their website, and I'm a huge fan of your work. And he leans back, shakes my hand. He's like, hello, thank you. And then completely turns back around to
Yeah,
his
like
drink.
I'm done now,
Fucking,
dude.
yeah. But like I didn't meet him, and like I'd always been a huge fan, since the '80s for real, and that was so cool. And I a few minutes later, whatever, I ran back to my hotel room, and like my buddies were up there, and my ex-wife, and I was like, oh, I know guys, I know, I know. I met Keanu Reeves, and he smelled amazing, and he really did. That's one thing about celebrity encounters. Like a lot of them smell really good. A lot of them smell like pie. A lot of them have bad breath, different aromas. But like a lot of them, like Nikki Sixx smelled really good. Like I was just like, you just be like, what the cologne is that? Just pheromones. It was just like they really dialed in with the fragrance. But anyways, so I'm there like slobbering, running my mouth, and I look over in the mirror, and I have like margarita salt all in my beard from drinking. So the whole time I'm lunging over to Keanu, like he's looking up at some dipshit with margarita salt all in his beard. So no wonder he's like, "Hello, thank you."
Yeah. Goodbye.
But yeah, I've been a lot of rock stars, movie stars, a lot of beautiful girls. So can't complain. Uh, and again, just living vicariously through my heavy metal heroes. So that's been the biggest perk of all that. And when I was in New York, we'd have all kinds of people come to the office, not just hip hop. Damn, what was her name? I think it was Maya. You remember Maya?
Oh
Hmm.
yeah,
She,
ghetto
Ghetto
superstar.
Superstar.
Yeah,
Uh,
that is what you are. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
with
yeah,
with ODB and Praz on that song.
yeah.
yeah.
R.I.P.
So she
R.I.P.
was like
R.I.P. to both of them. Yeah.
she was like the R&B like singer, hotness for a while. And she came in
Yeah.
there. This would have been a few years after she was big, but that woman was absolutely gorgeous.
Oh
Who
man,
who was the other girl in Kelly Kelly in Destiny Child?
Kelly Rowland, and then
Oh yeah, Kelly Rowland.
Beyonce. Kelly Rowland.
I
Yeah,
didn't I
she's
didn't mean
hot.
Beyonce, but like Kelly Rowland was absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
And it yeah, Brittany on and on. Just chicks would come out in the shows, actresses like that. Again, it's just like hard to believe. My redneck ass is hanging out with these people. I got to go backstage at Conan O'Brien one time.
Oh man,
Got
That's
Heavy Rock
awesome
on.
too.
dude,
Yeah,
Conan, love Conan.
I
Oh
can see the
man,
behind the scenes and all that. Again, much like the YouTube podcasting world, much different than what you actually see on TV.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
fake.
It's so much
The,
work.
well, the big thing was like the filming like stretched out like way longer than what you see on TV. You know, it's
Oh,
not like
right.
it was,
It's edited
you
down.
know,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's not live or anything. So like Conan would
Right.
get out there and jam on the guitar for like 15 minutes,
Oh,
just
that's
playing to the
awesome.
audience. That was it
Yeah,
was so weird because like you just don't think of that happening, but like that's what he did to kill time. Was that? Yeah,
dude,
I
that's
was there
crazy.
for Lisa Loeb was the musical guest.
And 9 stories. Lisa Loeb and nine
Lisa
The Nine
stories.
Loeb.
Stories was not there, but Lisa was. I think she was
Ah,
dating the band leader.
okay.
I got to
But
go to a David Letterman once
oh, okay.
many years ago, and I don't know if you watched it back then, but he had this bit with Mujabar and Sirajul, and they were the
Oh yeah, I remember the
t-shirt guys. So
yes.
I went down to their little t-shirt hut, t-shirt little corner, and bought a. I wish I still had it, and bought a t-shirt, Mujabar and Sirajul around the world. Got them to autograph it. I was like 17, I think, but it was cool. It was really cool, man. I loved David Letterman growing up. I just something about his
Yeah, he
show.
was hysterical back in the day.
Yeah, and
They all
Conan
were.
Conan reminded me so much of just that style, so I just naturally gravitated to Conan as well.
Yeah. Plus, I was up late, super late, so I'm like gonna watch Conan for sure. Because he was on later. Hey, so I'm curious, Brent.
Yeah.
Today is Wednesday the 25th, and later tonight, Ti and I are very excited because Scrubs is coming back on. And I'm curious, did you get into Scrubs back when it was on before Zach Braff and all those guys? Just curious.
No, that one kind of falls again in that abyss of uh I was I remember it, but like I was busy. Like
Yeah, yeah,
I just
you were talking to Keanu. My
no
bad.
that,
My bad.
that was kind of the same time period. But yeah, I had so much shit going on. I didn't really start watching TV. I didn't have time to watch TV again until like The Office and like sort of
All
that
those
stuff
epic
came around.
shows. Yeah.
Yeah. But I
I know Ti's excited for tonight. I'm pretty stoked too. Well then, all right, let's get you out of here on this Star Wars.
yeah
Do
yeah
you think they can save it now with this Grogu deal coming out? And because it's like we talked about it, it kind of is dying off, and the Wampas, we need them back. So like,
yeah.
is this gonna carry them? Is this gonna? Do you have high hopes?
No, I have zero expectation. I mean,
Oh
I'll
man,
be there
that's
opening
bad.
night. I'll be there opening night IMAX at Opry Mills, but I'd say the average person just they'll wait till it's on streaming or whatever.
I'm gonna go. I'm
I
gonna
just
go
hope it's a
opening for sure
decent. I
too.
just hope it's a decent movie. I don't think it'll have enough legs to like restart the brand. I don't think they're gonna take any risk. And then there's the Ryan Gosling movie coming out. They might put a little more marketing behind that one. Uh, I we could have another 10-hour podcast with all my thoughts on Star Wars or whatever.
Yeah, we probably will. We'll have you
Yeah,
back on.
yeah.
You'll be a three
Uh,
timer very soon. Very
that's
soon.
right. Trifecta. I think about half the Disney stuff has been really good, and the other half is just complete dog shit, and it's kind of put a bad taste in people's mouth, and it's just become a product. Star
Yeah.
Wars was always special. It was only a movie every 3 years, and then it went dormant for 15 years. It's been pretty steady, this century. But again, it was always, movies every 3 years, and other stuff was more kiddie or whatever. But they did a nice job with it. Uh, yeah, I don't know. It's an unbelievable universe. I'll just leave it at that. Like,
Yeah.
you could do anything with it. I don't think it's one of those things that necessarily would be oversaturated. But like you've got to have passion, behind it, and not just corporate focus
Filler.
groups
Yeah, you can't
and
just have filler in there.
corporate Disney. You might not agree with everything Lucas did, but it was definitely different.
Mhm.
It moved the needle. It moved things forward, and
Favreau,
so
I thought did well.
it was Lucas's baby. So like all the stuff they came up with was unique in some way or another. Was the other Disney stuff, it can just be kind of flat. But yeah, John Favreau's great. Here's a cool insider story. So I was at Scotty and 60th birthday party, and uh, D- Dan, it was Dave and Dan that did Game of Thrones. Dan was there, and I think that's why season 8 of Game of Thrones sucked so bad is because those guys wanted to get out there so they could get their Hollywood money, because you get paid whatever, the shit blows up, but then that's when you get the real money because that's when they want you.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
I mean, he didn't tell me this or anything. This is just my 2 cents. But anyways, their first deal after Game of Thrones was with Lucasfilm to do Star Wars movie. And so this was New Year's Eve, and we're shooting the shit, and like, oh, I just love Game of Thrones, best TV show ever, blah blah blah. And I'm so looking forward to you guys doing, the Star Wars movie or whatever. I don't want to betray like confidence or whatever, but like it's just like he's like I couldn't handle. He's like I couldn't take it. And like the stuff he was telling me, it was just so stupid. I can tell you off the air. like I said, I don't want to betray private drinking New Year's Eve stories,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
this basically they wanted to do Game of Thrones Star Wars, so it was like the origin of the Force, and the Jedi Knights would have really been knights, so it would have been 1,000 years before. So it would have been like medieval times meets Star Wars universe instead of
Wow.
cowboys and the other stuff Star Wars had drawn upon for the more the main movies. So that was going to be their thing, was like a trilogy of the like origin of the Force. Have kind of more of a Robin Hood, medieval Game of Thrones type vibe to it. I'm there. Like that would restart Star Wars. You'd have to go with something like that. But like once they started getting into it, it was just like, oh my God, like we can't do it. So they just left and went to Netflix. Uh, Three Body Problem. I think they did that. I didn't see it, but um, I guess they've had some success at Netflix or whatever. But
Yeah, I'm
really
familiar
cool
with
guy.
that. I'm familiar with that. I haven't. I don't think I've seen it, but I'm familiar with the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll definitely want to talk. Maybe when the movie comes out on another Wednesday, come hang out with us and talk more Star Wars, talk more stories. We definitely, you got to be a 3-timer. You may be like a 5-timer, like within the end of the year. I feel like, I mean, gosh, dude, there's so many cool stories you have. So
Yeah, I could name drop with the best of them.
yeah, yeah. I think this might be one of the best name dropper episode that we've had. So thanks
Yeah,
for
and,
hanging, bro.
and half my stories like I have to think because it's just like the old adage like if you could talk about it like you weren't really there. Like during this story, like Mick Jagger got paid a bunch of money to write his bio and all this stuff with the Rolling Stones, and he just gave them the money back. He's like, I don't remember. Like half my Anthrax and rock and roll, stories like it's just a blur, man. Like just it's just it, it's hard to document the party and be in the party at the same time. But
Right.
I've been very fortunate in that regard to meet a lot of my idols and people from culture, hockey, and sports, and just all the stuff. It's kind of your escapist fantasy from life,
Oh, you mean like
and
sports, comedy, pop culture, and everything in between? I
yeah,
mean,
all of it.
I mean,
They
is that
say
kind of
they say never meet your heroes, but I've had pretty good luck with it. Very few people I just thought were just complete dicks.
hello? Thank you.
No, 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 no.
Me
He got in the
too.
mosh pit that night. He was wearing like an Armani suit and jumped in the pit. Can you imagine, like some shirtless fat guy, there for Anthrax and Motorhead,
And then
and all of a
John
sudden
Wick.
Keanu comes flying into
Yeah,
you.
like you're like, what?
What? Yeah, okay,
He
was
is
was
the
that Neo?
Yeah, he is the one.
Yeah,
Larry
That's
Fishburne.
awesome. That's
Oh
awesome.
man. Well, dude, again, thank you so much, dude,
yeah.
for hanging,
Thanks
like
for
telling
having
all
me.
these stories. Dude, this is crazy, dude. Ti did not warn me. Like he said some cool stuff, but like this is a little like over the top. I'm like, dude, what? Like, so you gotta come hang and talk again. And I gotta come out to a game.
Yeah, yeah. Wampas, we're in the consolation round right now. So basically, the winter season is winding down, and then spring summer season will start uh, in mid to late March. I don't have the schedule yet,
Sure.
but those game times are much better because the old timers like me, you typically have to your game times are like 10, 10:30, 11, 11:15. Because
Yeah.
like you got the like the little kid leagues, peewees, bantams, whatever they're called, and then you got figure skaters, and then you got high school teams, and then you got like Vanderbilt practices there, open ice time, you name it. Like anything they could possibly have is before beer league.
Yeah, yeah.
But most of that winds down in the summer, so we get decent game time. So it'll be like 8:30 at night.
Yeah, yeah.
You can
Regular
you can be
human.
home.
Yeah.
Regular human hours, and you can hit your bedtime. You're not too much of a zombie the next morning.
Not much of a
And you're
wampa.
not
Yeah.
on your Zoom call.
Right.
Yeah,
Be a family man. Well, again, thanks for hanging out. Pitch,
Yeah,
what's
dude.
the website again for to check the schedule and like more stuff about Wampas? Grab a hat.
Yeah, it's wampashockey.com, and it's got schedules, links to everything, merchandise, yes, things
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, man.
Uh, and we'll be at the Star Wars convention here in town, later this summer. It's called ICCC. Uh, it's down in Murfreesboro, so we got links to all kinds of stuff like that. We have a booth at that show. Uh, Again,
Sweet.
great
Ti
meeting the
talks about
folks and
Murfreesboro. I know about Murfreesboro.
That's right.
killer town.
It is party
Yeah,
town, man. Party town. When I was,
it was a nice convention. It used to be kind of at the airport area. They had it at the Farm Expo in Wilson County, but it's the biggest Star Wars sci-fi convention. They have all kinds of celebrities there from Star Trek and Star Wars and Battlestar Galactica, and just any kind of sci-fi property you can think of, a lot of comic book artists, stuff like that. Saw
Yeah.
the Emperor there. Uh,
that's awesome.
yeah,
Yeah, when I was a freshman at MTSU, I think it was '97. They made the top 25 college party schools in Playboy magazine. So Murfreesboro is definitely known to party a little bit.
Yep, that's a stat that you did not know you were going to catch on Sports Idiot Nation. Reminder to follow us wherever you get your social media. New episodes of Sports Idiot Nation come to you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Again, big shout out to Brent Thrax. Come hang out. We need more stories, and we will see you Friday. Thank you for watching this episode of Sports Idiot Nation. Remember, we are on all social media and on YouTube, and the podcast can be found on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Remember, new episodes are every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And remember, because you watch Sports Idiot Nation,
You would be the smartest idiot in the whole world.